Now, I'm not one to gossip, but I will bring you the tea. Welcome to Chronicle Speaks.
Please, I don't have any time for any gossip now. Eh? Yes.
Look at you.
Whitney Houston has been gone for a total of 7 years, and the vultures have not stopped trying to eat and get money off of her name. Now, there was once a time when I respected Whitney's ex-friend and confidant, Robyn Crawford, because out of everyone who was writing books, doing movies, and telling their story, she was always quiet. Now, I knew that if anyone knew all of the truth, child, it would be Robyn, and sis never said a word. Well, that was up until she writes a tell-all book called A Song for You, My Life with Whitney Houston, and the stuff Robyn is revealing is definitely not the info I believe Whitney would want out there to the public. Now, it's no surprise that Robyn has always been a huge staple in Whitney Houston's life. If you recall, in the Bobby Brown story, they mentioned in the film without really mentioning that Whitney and Robyn had something going on, and he even mentioned to Us Weekly back in 2016 that Whitney was bisexual. Bobby also claimed that had Robyn been accepted into Whitney Houston's life by others, she could possibly still be alive today. Now, I get it. Everyone has had their story about Robyn and Whitney Houston, and Robyn has not said a word. However, Whitney is not here to defend herself, so Robyn telling intimate details, even so much as saying that Eddie Murphy called Whitney Houston on her wedding day to Bobby Brown to tell her she was making the wrong choice. Sis, you're just doing too much at this point. Y'all take a listen to this and I'll be back with more.
I watched her rise to the top of her game, and I felt compelled to share who that woman was behind all the fame.
Robyn Crawford was by Whitney's side every step of the way as rumors about them swirled.
Everyone knows the tragic story of Whitney Houston, the superstar. But this is the story that no one else knows except you. Why share that story now?
I never envisioned speaking publicly about my life. And then I asked myself the question, what would Whitney want? Would she understand, the time is now?
For the very first time, Crawford is now opening up publicly about their relationship in her new book, A Song for You.
We were intimate on many levels. And all I can say was that it was very deep and we were very connected.
They first met when Whitney was just shy of 17, Crawford says. Soon, they were inseparable.
When did this friendship, this partnership, when did it turn into something more?
Our friendship was a deep friendship. In the early part of that friendship, it was physical.
Who knew about the romantic aspect of your relationship with her?
I would say no one. It was ours.
Crawford says their physical intimacy stopped before Houston became a star.
She said, I don't believe we should be physical anymore. The music business was a world that we were learning, and we didn't want anything to interfere with where she was going.
Were you sad? Were you angry? Were you disappointed?
I just felt that I wouldn't be losing much. I still loved her the same, and she loved me, and that was good enough.
They remained best friends and housemates for years, Crawford says, and she became Houston's closest confidant and point person.
A lot of folks will see this and they'll probably ask, how do I know she's not making all this up?
I can't even get into that. I mean, some people may feel that way. Hopefully they won't.
What's the family say about that?
Not much. The family has not responded to our request for comment. But it was a fascinating conversation. It's been a couple of hours with Robyn Crawford.
Did they remain close as Whitney's life was, kind of coming to an end?
No. In fact, when Whitney died, they had been estranged for a number of years. She was Whitney's creative director. That was her last official position. And when Bobby Brown came into the picture, Robyn was sort of forced out. She talks about that in the book as well, what led to that. She spends a fair amount of time talking about the addiction as well, the drug addiction, how that started. Whitney Houston was using cocaine at the age of 14. Robyn was using with her at some points on the road as well. And when Bobby Brown came along, she says that didn't help matters. But it's a fascinating read. There's also some interesting nuggets in there about Eddie Murphy. You know, Whitney Houston and Eddie Murphy dated for a while, and on her wedding day to Bobby Brown, the phone rings and it's Eddie Murphy on the other end. So she talks a little bit about that conversation.
In a 2012 obituary inside of Esquire magazine, Robyn wrote, "She was a loyal friend and she knew I was never going to be disloyal to her. I was never going to betray her." This to me is betrayal at its finest. Not only is Robyn going into intimate details concerning her and Whitney, she's also talking about things concerning Whitney and the rest of her family. Let's take Sissy for one, Whitney's mother. She said that Sissy never helped Whitney get ready for school and that Sissy was informed of her teenage daughter's drug use but turned a blind eye, and in one confrontation while Crawford was in Houston's employ, she slapped Crawford for leaving Houston alone. Now she's saying that same day, Houston also slapped Crawford for spending the day with another woman. They're saying that this is a rare indication of Houston's possessiveness. Now, it's always been alleged that the Houstons knew exactly what was going on between Robyn and Whitney, although they did not approve of it. Now, on the eve of the Bodyguard premiere, a Chicago lawyer tried to extort $250,000 from Whitney Houston, according to a heavily redacted FBI file. Now, the lawyer told the FBI agent that the info included knowledge of intimate details regarding Whitney Houston's romantic relationships and will go public with the information. According to the report, Houston's father, John Houston, settled the matter by sending a confidentiality agreement almost immediately. Whitney's former bodyguard, Kevin Amos, said Houston's dad did not like Robyn and was afraid she would go public, and he told the bodyguard, "We've got to do something about this MF&B. She's ruining my family and driving everybody nuts. She's lost her grip on reality. I'll pay you $6,000 to put the fear of God in her." Needless to say, the family was not digging this relationship with Whitney and Robyn at all, and Robyn said that the reason why she ended up leaving Whitney for good is because the relationship between Whitney and Bobby became too volatile and she just couldn't take it anymore. Plus, she said as she was trying to steer away from the cocaine usage because she was using as well, she would find burnt spoons and things around the house, and she just left the situation altogether. However, Miss Robyn, hopefully this book is not just showing how Whitney abused you and her mother abused you, but it will also go into detail about what her bodyguard, Kevin Amos, said about you as well when he said he witnessed you grabbing Whitney Houston by her arm and screaming, "Don't you ever disrespect me like that," after she went and spoke to MC Hammer. Hopefully you're telling it all, sis, if you're going to be this person that exposes everything. I don't feel like Whitney would be okay with you telling all of this today, and with knowing the East Orange, New Jersey woman Whitney was, she'd kick your butt for exposing her and her family like this. If y'all vowed to be loyal forever, this isn't loyal to me, sis. This looks like an instant come up. Now, I met with Bobby's sister Leola earlier this year, and she exposed to me that you, Robyn, tried to get in the car with Whitney's mom and the rest of the family at the funeral, and Sissy wasn't having it, and you had to ride with the Browns. So I'm wondering, is this your get back for not being accepted? Either way, this isn't friendship, and if you and Whitney never rekindled your friendship, as it's being said that you never did, you definitely don't get the right to tell her story. This will sell because people will want to know what's going on. However, this isn't right. Whitney had a troubled life. Believe it or not, she was killed and had a traumatic death, and even after her death, people are still doing her wrong. I don't agree with what Robyn did, and that's just my opinion. Robyn, you're wrong. Anyway, what I need you guys to do is leave a comment. Tell me what you think about this woman coming out all of these years later to tell all of this about Whitney, and she didn't do it while Whitney was here. Leave a comment, and you know how we do. We'll talk about it down below. Talk to you guys later. Bye. All right, in this video, I want to tell you about a company called Ash Kicking. Now, you know your girl Chronicles would not promote a company without doing one of those thorough Chronicle Speaks investigations, honey, and Ash Kicking definitely passed the test. Y'all make sure to check out ashkicking.com for one of the best 100% natural home fragrance and beauty products, honey, and use my code Chronicles at checkout for an extra 15% off just for you. As always, thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and hit that bell so you don't miss any of my new episodes.